Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Can everyone hear me okay? It's most important that you're able to hear my voice. So, what I want to do with you today is this guided meditation to help you uncover blockages and have a closer walk with God. What I recommend for you to do is be in a comfortable place where you can sit back and relax. And if you need to turn off your lights, that's fine. I would love for you to just leave your cameras on. But if you can just mute, everyone's got their microphones muted, so that's helpful so that we don't have any interruptions. But I want to help you um, find that closer walk with God so that you can walk in that daily as you go forward. You will not need a notebook or notepad or pen or paper. This is an opportunity for you to just commune with God and to find that loving connection that is there. But so many times we let our minds get in the way, and our minds, especially those of us who have been raised with what we've got to do, and we got to get something done, and we get undone because we're consistently looking for what we have to do next and next and next. And in this moment, just allow yourself some time to not need any next, or what was. It's just now. It's now with God. It's now for your time. And we know God is present when 2 to 3 gather in my name. I'll be amongst you. I'll be with you. So this is an opportunity for us to commune. It's commune with God, commune with each other. And I highly recommend you put away the notepads, because nothing I say is going to be anything that any of us are necessarily going to need to remember, because it's just about now. I just want to be where I can see you, if at all possible, if you're in a place where I can see you. If you are driving, then I recommend you pull over and find a place that is safe where you can hear our conversation. I don't recommend that you drive while we talk about this, because I want you to find that space where you are relaxed. It's so interesting how words have an impact on us. And I can tell you from my studies that words impact us at a deep subconscious level. Words impact us at a neurological level that we may not have even been aware of. So that's where it's very important that you hear the words and you allow the words to let you just soften. That's right. We hear the word relax all the time, and that's just not really a very relaxing word, is it? Relax, it kind of bristles and makes you go, "Argh." But if you just think of softening, you can start to soften. You can start at the tip of your head and allow that soften to come down your face and down your neck till you feel your shoulders soften, and feel that space between your shoulder blades soften even more. And maybe you feel it all the way down your arms and down into the tips of your fingers, and maybe all the way down to the tips of your toes. Just allow yourself to soften. That's right. Just soften. If you feel comfortable with it, if you'll go ahead and close your eyes and allow your mind to just drift down and drift into a nice, quiet place of relaxation. You know that place of warmth and comfort. That's where you want to go. So imagine that you're at the top of some steps, and these steps are leading down into a beautiful garden. And when you look over, and next to the step is the number 10. and you go, oh, that's 10. And then you step down a little bit more, and then you look over and you see the number 9. That's right, there's a 9. And then you step down a little bit deeper. And every time, every step, you feel more and more of that softening in your body. And then you step down and you see the number 8. Oh, 8, it's such a nice number. So round, so soft. And then you feel that softening coming around you as well. And then you step down again and you see that number 7. Ah, 7, such a perfect number. We love the number 7. And then we soften even more. And then you step a little bit further and you see the number 6. And then you begin to feel everything release. You feel all of the tension in all of your muscles. Just let go. That's right. And then you step to the number 5. And yes, the number 5, you're halfway there now. And you know that this is not an intellectual exercise. If you're thinking about it, maybe you need to let that go and just allow yourself to experience the letting go. Because now you're going to step a little further. And as each muscle and every nerve turns loose, you see a number 4. And you let loose and you go even deeper into a nice, calm, relaxed state. And from this state, you drop down, you step down, you notice what you notice. You feel the softening in your body as you drop down. You see the number 3, and then you see the number 2, 2, going deeper into your own beautiful internal state where you are one with the divine. You can see it, you can touch it, you can taste it. And then you drop down, down even further. And then you take a step and you see the number 1. Just allow yourself to drift deeper and deeper into this beautiful state of relaxation, knowing that this is the state where we can be calm enough, our mind can be slow enough that we can feel the presence of Jesus in our lives. Now, I know that when I talk to different clients, some clients like to talk about God, and some people like to talk about Jesus, and some people like to talk about the Holy Spirit. It doesn't really matter which term you use because we're all talking about the same thing. We're talking about the Trinity. And when you're in this state, this beautiful meditative state, that's when we can hear that clear, small voice. We can feel that warmth in our heart, that peace that surpasses all understanding. So many mystics throughout the years have written about this. They've talked about it. They've described it. It's right there for us. Every single one of us, we're made in the image of God. We're made for this state. We're made to meditate. This is the meditative state. And that's not necessarily a state where we're asking for a bunch of things. People think that prayer is when I'm going to just start asking God this and that and the other. And that's really part of it, but that's not all of it. The biggest part of prayer is when we listen. And that's why you want to be in this state, the listening state, so that you are calm and relaxed and you're softened so you can listen. So as you hear my voice, know that I consider myself an undercover agent for the Holy Spirit. It doesn't, mean that I know everything. I don't. All I know is I go where I am called, just like an undercover agent would if they worked in some kind of covert operation. Sometimes I get dropped behind enemy lines. Sometimes I have to go and talk to people who don't believe so that I can help guide them towards believing, so I can help change their minds. And some of you may be doing that as well in the work that you do. But know that a lot of what happens is things that aren't supposed to happen. Maybe there's things that happen to us back in our lives that cause us to block, that cause us to think, oh, we have to think our way through this instead of experience our way through it. So that's what I'm calling you to do now. Experience what this feels like. This feels like to be relaxed and calm and open to the presence of God. Now, as you're here and as you notice you're breathing and you breathe in and you breathe out, you just feel yourself relax even more. Just let it go. Just allow this time to be there. I was doing some research today on that wonderful research tool they call Facebook. And somebody had posted something I found quite amazing. And that is that the faster we go, the slower time moves. And the slower we go, the faster time moves. So after today, after we sit and don't move at all, and we allow our minds to slow down, you'll notice that time passed very, very quickly because that's quantum physics. Einstein talked about that. But do you know who taught Einstein? Einstein learned from God because this is God's rules, not Einstein's rules. So now, as we talk about the things in your life that maybe get in the way, I'm a big believer that you can't fix what you don't understand. And I believe that in order to fix whatever issue you want to fix, it's very important to understand how, why, when, and where you acquired it. So take a minute and think of something that you'd like to fix. And then go ahead and close your eyes. You don't need your eyes right now. You can let them drop down and close. It's really all right. It's perfectly fine. And as you do that, you'll notice that your eyes feel very heavy and very relaxed. And that even if you tried to open them, you really couldn't because they're so relaxed. Because you don't need to see out your main eyes, you need to see out of your heart now. Your main eyes could get in the way. Now, any sounds or anything that you may hear is just a hint. That's a suggestion that you're to relax even deeper. So think of an issue that maybe gets in your way. It could be something simple. It might be complex. Maybe it's something that you do. Maybe you procrastinate. Maybe you argue too much. Maybe you try to do instead of be, whatever it is. Just hold on for a minute, like you're holding that issue right there in your hand. It's right there in your hand. Feel the weight of it. Feel what it feels like in your hand. Now, in order to do something with this, it's important to understand how, why, where, and when you acquired this issue. So as you feel your eyes closed and as you feel yourself relax, I want you to think about how you acquired it. And your mind already knows why it's there. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to 3 different scenes in your life where this issue occurred. We're going to go back to a scene that has to do with that same feeling, that same belief that goes along with the root cause and the reason for this issue that you're dealing with. So as I count backwards, your mind will take you straight back to when you were younger, lighter, smaller, and it's got a scene that has all to do with this issue that you have. So as I count backwards from 5 to 1, you're going to go to a scene, a place, an event, and a time that has all to do with the cause, the root, and the reason for your issue. And so as I count to 5, you're drifting back to a vivid, vital memory, a crucial, significant scene that has all to do with why you have this issue. As I count to 4, you're becoming younger. As I count to 3 and 2, you're becoming smaller, lighter, shorter, drifting back, right back to a scene, a place, an event, and a time that has all to do with why you have this issue. On the count of 1, you go back easily. Years, months, weeks, days are peeling away as you go back to a significant scene. Now, I don't want to know what's in the scene. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to you, that you just be there. So now, as this scene comes into your mind easily, I want you to just focus on that scene and think about, is it daytime or is it nighttime? Just tell yourself, you don't have to say it out loud. Just say, is it daytime or nighttime? Are you alone or are you with someone? That's right. And how old do you think you are in this time? A number will just pop in your head usually, and that's the right answer. So now that you know that, I want you to think about what's important about this scene. See what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel, and experience. What's important here? Is it that you're scared or you're alone? Is it that you are uh, left to your own devices? What's important about this scene? And why are you feeling that way? What feelings are you feeling? What feelings are involved? So now, as you look at that scene, think about just that one feeling that you have. What one feeling does this scene give you? And just allow it to be. It's okay. This is all, you're in control here. So just now, after that, I want you to come back to the present and leave that scene. And then you're going to go back to another scene as I count back from 5 to 1. So you have that scene. We're going to leave it now, and we're going to go to another scene. So at 5, you're drifting back to a vivid, vital memory, a crucial, significant scene that has all to do with why you have this issue. Count to 4, you're becoming younger. And at 3 and 2, you're becoming smaller, lighter, shorter. You're drifting back, right back to another scene, a place, an event, a time that has all to do with why you have this issue. And on the count of 1, you're going back easily. Years, months, weeks, days are peeling away. Now, just be there. Be in that scene. Notice, is it daytime or is it nighttime? Are you inside or are you outside? Are you alone or are you with someone? And how old do you think you are? Now just notice the feeling you have in that scene and notice what you're making that scene mean for you. What are you making it mean about you? And just notice that and honor it. And then we're going to go to one more scene. So leave that scene and come back to who you are today. And now as I count from 5 to 1, you're going to go to one more scene. So as I count to 5, you're drifting back. drifting back to a vivid, vital memory. And as I count to 4, you're becoming younger. And 3 and 2, you're becoming smaller, lighter, shorter, drifting back, right back to a scene, a place, an event, or a time that has all to do with why you have this issue. On the count of 1, you're going back easily years, months, weeks. They're all peeling away. Go back to a scene. Now, this is a scene that has all to do with why you have this issue. Where are you now? Is it daytime or nighttime? Is it that you're alone or with someone? How old are you? Just realize how you feel in this scene, what you make this mean about you in this scene. And just notice what you notice. And now that you have those 3 scenes, come back to being the adult you are, bringing those 3 scenes with you. Bringing those 3 scenes with you. And now we're going to look at those. I want you to take those 3 scenes and put them in your left hand, like they are, discs in your left hand. That's right. And put them in your left hand and hold them there, those 3 scenes. And now, in your right hand, put the issue that you have. That's right. That issue that you have, that you've been struggling with, the one that's been keeping you from being near God. Now notice what you notice. What's the connection? There's a connection between these memories and the issue you're having. And just notice, it may be consciously you don't have an answer, and you may just think, I have no idea, but your subconscious mind knows, because that's the part of our mind that's connected to God. And so now notice what you notice. And now realize that you're the one who put these issues in your hands and these scenes in your hands. And a lot of us run into the issue of thinking that we were all alone in those scenes. Now what I want you to do is look at those scenes in your left hand and just pick one. Whichever one you pick, doesn't matter, just pick one. And now bring it up in front of you like it's a movie. And realize, as you're watching this movie, I want you to notice, where in the movie do you see Jesus? Because Jesus is always with you. So in all those moments, when you were younger, smaller, and lighter, Jesus was right there with you. And notice him. Notice that he's there with you. Ask him for guidance now. What's he telling you? Listen. Listen. What is he telling you about that scene? Now, take into your heart. Take into your heart the love that Jesus has for you now and had for you then. And realize that the issue that you have in your right hand is all to do with what you made those scenes mean when you were younger. And perhaps you didn't realize at the time that Jesus was with you that whole time. But now realize that he's with you. And he was with you then, and he is with you now. And ask him, what are you supposed to learn from this experience? Ask him. And then from that, you'll hear an answer. It may be a still small voice. And then next, ask him, how do I follow you closer, Lord? How can I release whatever pain and suffering I've been in? Help me let it go. And notice Jesus will take that issue that you have in your right hand, give it to him in whatever way you see possible. Maybe you reach out your hand to him, maybe he reaches over, but let him take that issue from your hand. Ask him to take it from you. As long as you learn all the lessons there are to learn from it, then you can let it go. Now, there may be a part of you that thinks that it's doing something for you by keeping this issue going. That's not the part. That's Jesus. Jesus does not want you to suffer. The Holy Spirit does not want you to suffer. The Holy Spirit wants you to learn and move on. But sometimes there's parts of us that think that they're protecting us, or maybe they're punishing us for our poor behavior in the past. Whatever that is, you can tell that part to go, unless that part is doing something for you. And then you can ask it to just change its behavior. If it's been getting in the way of you getting stuff done that you've got to get done, you can ask it to help you figure out a way to get it done. And what that means is you want to ask your creative mind, the creative part of you, to create new ways of responding. And then just present those ways and make to Jesus and make sure that Jesus approves of those ways. Because we always want to do things that Jesus approves of. And once Jesus approves of those, then ask Jesus to give you guidance in those moments. You know, that moment just before you respond, just before you have a knee-jerk reaction. Ask Jesus to remind you and to help you to respond in a better way going forward. And with that, now you can sit and rest in the knowledge that you're in the loving presence of God. Jesus has you at all moments. So as you sleep and dream, your dreams may take you to some places that you'd forgotten about, or maybe the places that have been a problem for you. And you'll notice that Jesus is there with you there too. And in your dreams, you may actually see Jesus right there with you. You want to allow that and trust it and know that Jesus is always there for you. So the other thing I ask you to do is take that small, maybe you had in your mind an incident with a small child when you were a small child. So if that's your case, if that's where you were, I ask you to notice, be in that situation and notice Jesus wrapping his loving arms around you and holding you, and feel the love that's coming from his heart and that he loves you. And look up into his face and see those beautiful eyes. Feel the warmth of his embrace as you rest your head against his chest. And then breathe in and breathe out and rest. Tonight, as you sleep and dream, you'll rest in the peace and in the joy that surpasses all understanding. May you go in peace and love. Now you can come back to this room, move your head back and forth, maybe wiggle your fingers and toes, smile a big smile. That's right. Smiling and releases endorphins into your neurology, and it makes you feel good. So if you ever need to feel good, just smile. It's right there for you. And we're made in the image of God. Thank you all. You're all such a blessing Thank you for allowing me to be here with you.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was so beautiful. Um, while we have Nancy with us, what I want to do is just if you have any questions for her, I just want to give you an opportunity. But in terms of like processing out the experience, I want to ask if you would just journal tonight as we leave. I really want you to just process it with yourself, with the Lord. And it's okay if it comes up later, if it becomes a part of your project or anything like that. But I just kind of want to reserve that. But if you have any specific questions, while we have Nancy with us tonight, um, you are welcome. But if you don't, I fully understand because that
You
really
know,
wasn't
I'll
a
tell you,
time for you
Felicity, a lot
before.
of times I get the question of what's the difference between meditation and prayer, right? What's the difference between contemplation, meditation, prayer? Also, in the secular world, they talk about things like hypnosis or or those kinds of modalities or anesthesia, for example. And our minds are very, very powerful. And we can create any neurological, we've got these neurotransmitters in our minds, and they have a profound impact on us. And our minds can mix the cocktail of whatever neurotransmitters that are available. And when we are in that beautiful state of relaxation, that is a neurochemical cocktail that can't be reproduced on the outside. Only your brain can create that. So anesthesia, for example, is one where your brain is pretty much taken offline. It's a state where there's not any sleeping or dreaming. It's just basically offline. It depends on the level of anesthesia, and we don't have to get into all that. Uh, then meditation and prayer and contemplation all go together. So meditation is that deep state of relaxation that your mind creates. So your mind, body, and spirit are all connected. So when you're in a meditative state, your brain is creating is secreting these beautiful neurotransmitters that help your body relax, help you stay. Maybe you're curious, maybe you're at peace. Maybe you're in love. And when I say in love, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in love with another person. When we are with God, we are in God's love. So we are in love. We are existing in love. Contemplation is when we're taking a piece of scripture or holy writing or a song, as you were doing earlier, and you're contemplating those words and how they resonate with you. Now, they go together because the meditative state makes it to where you can contemplate and reflect on what you've heard, what you've seen. And then the meditative state is when you get back to being in love. What my prayer is for my clients as well as for you is that you can take that state of being in love. Some call it shalom, some call it peace, and you can carry it with you
Mhm.
and have it always with you. It's not something that you have to be sitting on a special pillow or in a special position to have. We have the special pillow, the special position, those kinds of things to help train our mind, body, and spirit to find that place, with the goal being that once we find it, we can take it with us. I knew someone who was only ever relaxed when they were in Hawaii. They loved Hawaii. When they were in Hawaii, they were happy. But as soon as they got back on the plane, they started getting tense and upset and noticing people that they didn't like and things like that. And, they were a client. And I said, so why don't you just bring Hawaii with you? You're the one doing it. It's in your mind, it's in your heart, it's in your spirit. So just bring it with you. And so that's why we do these retreats. That's why we practice, so that you can get to a place where that's always with you and that becomes you. Because we want to get to that point where people say, whatever it is that you have, I want it. Because you're always happy, you're always full of joy. Yes, Phyllis, and we all have seen that because we all know Dr. Joy here, and she embodies that. So,
Um, bless you. Bless you. That's wonderful. Yeah. Do you have a
John.
question, John, now?
Yeah, I do have a question for her because while you were counting down, I I went ahead of you, and is that a so my question would be, would that be a good thing or because I tend to do that whenever I go into myself with the Lord, even if somebody's guiding me through that, I'll go ahead of the person into other things. But I know where I'm focusing, but I'll go into other things. Is that a good thing? Would you recommend somebody?
Oh, yes. Look, it's all I believe that everything works out the way it's supposed to.
Okay,
And for you to go ahead, that's beautiful. I think of a small child that if you're going through a walk in
right.
the woods and the small child runs ahead, right? They're the ones who get to the river first. It's fabulous. It doesn't get you to the goal. Does it get you to that state of
Yeah,
being in love and peace? Then
yeah.
absolutely. You're
Because
leading the way, John.
yeah, because one of the things that happened to me, I was in the marketplace with, and I knew where Jesus was, and I wasn't so much in the scene of the event, but I was in the God had taken me into a scene where Jesus was in the marketplace getting the lamb and like getting ready to sacrifice it. So it was interesting because I've never encountered the Lord in that space before. But because I'm so used to, I guess for me, I'm so used to doing things, talking to the Lord, but just being quiet enough to allow the Lord to talk to me was different. So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's beautiful, John. Yeah. It's so we have been so entrained by our culture to okay, our prayers mean we have to do all the talking and we have to intercede for other people and there's so much to do and I got to remember everybody and oh my gosh, yeah, so much of it is just shh. And that's when we hear that still small voice talking to us. And that's the most patient voice, and it's calm and it's still. And so when we practice these meditations, we calibrate our brains. You know how they used to take like radios and they'd calibrate it so that you picked up the right radio station, so they turn the dial. Well, that's what we're doing in meditation, is we're tuning the dial on our receiver so we can pick up the station that that Jesus is talking to us on. But if we're so busy broadcasting out, boom, we don't ever receive. And so that's what it's about, is receiving. Thank you, John.
Candace, did you have something?
You know what? I was just really struggling um um with picturing Jesus there with me in certain scenes. I was wondering like if you have any like I you know at as you guys were just talking just now, I was trying to think of like, you know, would I see him like sitting at the dining room table or like, you know, I don't know. I was having a hard time with that. And I was wondering if you had any suggestions that would help me to really receive Christ in those moments when I didn't think he was there. You know, I was just having a hard time with that.
Well, so Candace, some people see Christ, some people hear, and some people feel it. So it may be that it manifests itself differently for you, that it's not necessarily a visualization, but it's a sense. So whatever sense that you sense the presence, to sense it, and for some people they don't, they sense it, but then they don't trust it, right?
Mm.
So part of it is relaxing into that and having the faith that that he is there. Um, and it, this is one of the mysteries that we've been struggling with as a faith for 2000 years. How do you know? How do you discern? Right? That comes into spiritual discernment. How do you know that this is Christ that you're hearing? Or how do you know that that's Christ that you're seeing? How do you visualize him in that space?